Dan, Hard Rock Star Series, Book 4. Written by Jade Allen. Read by D.C. Cole. Chapter 1. It was a Saturday night at Respect's, and Mark and I had PB&J's, Pabst Blue Ribbon, with a Jameson shot in front of us. Outside on the patio, the karaoke was just starting to get into gear. The MC had to wait for the burlesque show to end, but everyone had managed to get a good few drinks in, so he had plenty of people willing to take their turns on the smaller stage. "Seriously," Mark said, leaning in close, but still shouting a bit to be heard over The Cure playing through the system. "How fucked is it that Jules has a girlfriend before we do?" I laughed, shaking my head at Mark's question. It was one we'd passed back and forth about a dozen times since Jules and Fran had come out about their relationship and started working on their side project together. "We don't need girlfriends," I told Mark, throwing my arm around his shoulder. "We've got Molly." Mark rolled his eyes and picked up his Jameson and gestured for me to follow suit. "Man, fuck Molly," Mark muttered. I raised an eyebrow, even as I took the shot glass in one hand and my beer in the other to chase it. "You can't fuck Molly," I pointed out, smirking at my own wit. "She doesn't have the right parts." "She doesn't have any parts," Mark agreed. We knocked back our whiskey and I drank a gulp of beer. I knew I'd need to slow down soon. I was getting into the territory where fun drunk started to slip into messy drunk, and I didn't want to end up on some stranger's couch again. "I'm just saying," Mark said, turning the empty shot glass over and sliding it on the acrylic bar top. "I need to get laid like fucking yesterday." "Who's stopping you? Go. Find one of those girls from the show, or one of the ones who wishes she was in the show," I suggested. "Any of them would lay you." It was pretty close to the truth. Mark never had any trouble picking up women, with his long curly hair and big brown puppy eyes. He was ripped from playing drums and going to the gym, but he had a baby face at the same time. The only person in the band who had ever been better than him at pulling tail was Nick. But Nick was an honest guy suddenly too, dating his journalist girlfriend, and shockingly managing not to cheat on her with anyone. In fact, every member of Molly Riot was paired off except for Mark and me, which I assumed was the main point that the drummer was getting at in his comments about Jules. There was probably something about macho pride, some Spanish thing in Mark's objections to...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?